Hello, my dear friends. I'm about to give you a free gift. It's a sample video from my patreon.com site, and it is a mini mentoring session. You'll get one of these every Friday, just as a little teaser, a little taste to see what it would be like to get one of these 5 days a week. If you decide you'd like to have one of these mini mentoring sessions 5 days a week, ad-free, go to A Better Life with FlyLady Kat at patreon.com, patreon.com, and sign up. It's only $5 a month. You get 20 videos a month, and they are designed to give you a kick in the pants first thing in the morning. It's set up so that you can see them first thing, so you can watch them in bed even before you get going. It's designed for payroll and at-home homemakers, and it will help you with the way you think about the way you're doing life and doing the FlyLady system. So I hope that you go over and check out my Patreon site. While you're there, look at all of the other opportunities that I have for you for mentoring. We do personal one-on-one mentoring. There are different levels of that. And also I offer this year in 2022 financial mentoring. So if you need a budget, if you would like to be financially independent, now's the time to sign up for that as well. Okay, have a wonderful day. Enjoy the video. Hello, my patrons. Today's video is entitled Soup to Nuts, and it's about making a menu and all the things that need to go into your menu, not your grocery list now. I'm just talking about your menu. When I say soup to nuts, I mean little meals, beginnings of meals, snacks, lunches, actual meals. All those things need to be in your menu, so you need to think about it. I'd like you to start by planning out your dinner. That's kind of the central meal. Maybe you eat dinner in the middle of the day, maybe you eat dinner at supper time. I know that can be confusing, but maybe you eat a bigger meal at supper time or dinner time. Maybe you eat it at lunchtime or dinner time. So in that meal, you want to have protein. You want to have vegetable or vegetables. Try to include some red and yellow vegetables and some green vegetables. You want some kind of carbohydrate or starch, which could be a vegetable, like a potato, for example. Rice. Rice is technically a grain, but anyway, some starch like that. Or you might serve a roll with your dinner, or you might have a noodle with your dinner, or couscous, or some other thing. So some starch, and then the protein. The protein is supposed to be the size of the palm of your hand. That's how much protein you want to serve everyone. So think of your little 2-year-old and how tiny their little hand is. And their palm of their hand is really small, so they don't get a lot. And they'll be okay. Okay? All right. Remember also that a shrunken stomach is the size of one's fist. So this is the size of my fist when I have not overloaded my stomach. So it's not a lot of food. But if you have a growing teenager, well, boys and girls, they actually eat a lot more because their body demands more. So let their demands be your guide as they're growing. Now, if they're not doing anything, they're laying around, they're playing games, and they're getting acne and they're getting overweight, then you know that you're probably feeding them the wrong kinds of food or too much food, or they're getting into the wrong kind of foods that you have in the house. So we want to make sure we have the right kinds of foods in the house. Not to say there can't be treats. Absolutely there should be treats. I love treats, don't you? I am a sweet eater. Mr. B is a salty, but I do enjoy salty, and he enjoys a little sweet. So we all like that. So think about your main menu, your main dinner every day, and that dinner those things can be in a casserole if your family likes casseroles. A lasagna is a casserole. A shepherd's pie is a casserole. Macaroni and cheese is a casserole. It's foods that are put together in a pot, and you can serve it as a main dish. I've never eaten macaroni and cheese as a main dish. I know many people do. I always serve it with some kind of a protein. But I have served it with hot dogs in it, or I have served it with leftover ham chopped in it, and that would be my main meal. Or fish, tuna fish, in a macaroni thing. Won't necessarily be macaroni and cheese, but a macaroni and white sauce kind of thing, tuna casserole. So there's lots of casseroles if your family likes casseroles. Mr. B does not like casseroles. I love them. So sometimes we have them and sometimes we don't. We compromise. Okay, next is, so that's your main meal. Then you want to have your light meal, which could either be at lunch or maybe you're having it as a light supper. And that could be a sandwich. It could be soup. It could be a half of a sandwich and soup. It could be a small salad and soup. It could be a sandwich and salad. It could be leftovers from your big dinner. That is lunch. So you have to think about it. Does your family eat sandwiches? Do they eat soup? Do they like ramen noodles? How are you going to get the nutrition into them and still let them enjoy these things? So remember again, each meal has to have a little protein, carbohydrate, and some vegetables or fruits. And we'll put the fruits at breakfast because they're sweeter and they can have fruits for snacks. So think about that. Think about all the things you can make. You can make tuna salad, egg salad, chicken salad, turkey salad, whatever your meats are. You can take roast beef and slice that up, or leftover ham. You can make ham salad, peanut butter and jelly, sun butter. It depends on, your family if they can eat peanut butter. Lots of things can be made into a sandwich. A tomato sandwich, a bologna sandwich, my favorite, a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. Lettuce and tomato on the sandwich is getting some vegetable in. Some carrot sticks and a little bit of dip, getting some vegetable in. So think about what you're going to serve your family. A pickle, that's vegetable, and it's also probiotics because it's got stuff in it that's good for your gut. So don't be sad because your kids are eating pickles and they're not eating their carrots. It's all right. And remember again, the size of their little tummies. If they're little, they're not going to eat a lot maybe. Again, if they want to eat more, allow them to eat more as long as they're being healthy and you can see the health and vigor in your child. If they're getting too thin or the doctor says they need more protein, then you're going to have to increase the protein. And I would suggest natural protein instead of drinks. Drinks aren't bad. They're not the end of the world, and they are helpful in many cases. If the doctor says they must be taking a protein drink and a meal, then that's going to be a little difficult because you and I both know they get full on those protein drinks and they don't want to eat their meal. So I would focus on the meal. If the doctor says enhance it with a protein drink, maybe put that on their break or whatever, their snack, okay? All right, next is, and I'm not saying that your child has that problem one way or another. I'm just saying in case they do. Listen to your doctor, but listen to your good sense as well. All right, the next thing is breakfast. Okay, so for breakfast, you could have a starch, a protein, and a fruit. That could be cereal with a banana and some milk. That could be oatmeal with some blueberries and a glass of milk. A piece of cheese toast. A piece of peanut butter toast. That's protein and starch. So there's lots of things you can make. French toast has an egg in it. That's protein and starch. Let's see what else you can make. A toad in a hole or a Popeye egg. That's when you fry the egg with the bread around it. It has a hole in the bread. Fry the egg in there. That's protein and starch. Mom used to make fried egg, cut it up on a piece of toast. Protein and starch. And then fruit. So they could have a little juice or they could have a little sliced fruit. Anything like that. So think about what you've got. Do you have some peaches in there? Do you need to slice them up and put it on their cereal or serve it on the side with a little, even a little milk and sugar if it's a little tart for them? That might be helpful to get them to eat it. Or a little honey or whatever you choose to use for sweetener if it's not real sweet. Do you have blueberries, like I said, blueberries that are drying up or strawberries that need to be eaten? Have you tried it with some yogurt, some sweetened yogurt, maybe some honey and yogurt and granola and fruit? That's a great little breakfast. That's protein, carbohydrate, and fruit. So those are good things to have. And then always have fruits handy in a bowl, sitting out that the children can grab and eat. That's a good snack. Other snacks would be cookies, but you have to make sure you don't have a cookie monster. If you have a cookie, I was a cookie monster. I would eat cookies until they came out of my ears. That would not be a good choice to keep in my house. Or brownies. Brownies are probably worse than cookies. But something sweet that they like. Now, I personally would eat a Teddy Graham or a circus cookie, the little animal crackers, and that wouldn't make me go crazy. So you're going to find something that they enjoy that's not going to allow them to binge. And then occasionally do give them cookies, even if they are a cookie holic or a brownie holic, but you are in charge of who gets what. And they get one, maybe with some ice cream or something to make it stretch out. Ice cream is a sweet that they could have. A good healthy sweet, really, because it's got, I mean, you can buy different kinds of ice creams, but they can have fruits and nuts in them. They're definitely got protein in them. They definitely have sugar in them. And I'm thinking that children need some kind of natural sugars in their life. They need a lot of energy. So think about all the things you're going to feed your kids, including snacks. You just don't want to go crazy on the snacks. And if you do buy snacks like chips in a bag, try to buy individual ones. Give each child their own bin and put in what you want them to have for the week. And if they eat them all in the first 2 days, then they're out. They can't take from their sister or brother's bin. So eventually they'll learn to pace themselves, or not, or they'd rather eat them all up and not have any. That's their choice. Okay, so this is the video about soup to nuts, so we can talk about everything. Nuts are another good treat if your children are not allergic to nuts. That's a good treat. Popcorn is an excellent treat. If you want to sweeten it up, you can always put a few M&Ms in it and stretch it out that way. They're sweet that way. All right, that's it for today. I hope this was helpful for you to think about what your children are eating, what you're eating if you don't have children. You're your own little child after all. Anyway, that's it for today. Have a wonderful day, and always remember to be beautiful, because you are beautiful.